Hello and welcome back to the GCP-Mindset channel and our video on the basics of essential documents in the Trial Master File, or TMF. Today, we will take a deep dive into the critical role of the TMF in clinical research. The TMF serves as the backbone of clinical trials, ensuring compliance with good clinical practice, regulatory standards, and ethical guidelines. It contains all essential documents that demonstrate how the trial was conducted, ensuring data integrity, regulatory compliance, and participant safety.
Welcome to the GCP-Mindset channel and all topics on clinical research.
Clinical research helps to discover new treatments and therapies for various diseases. In order to ensure that the results of clinical research are accurate and representative of the population being studied, researchers use a variety of sampling techniques. One of the most commonly used techniques is stratified sampling. In this video, we will discuss what stratified sampling is and how it is used in clinical research. Let us start by understanding how these essential documents are categorized. They're divided into three key phases: before the clinical phase, during the clinical conduct, and after the completion or termination of the trial. By structuring documents effectively, clinical research teams can ensure a well-managed and auditable study. Now, let us move on to the essential documents required before the clinical phase of a trial. Before a clinical trial begins, several key documents must be prepared and filed in the TMF. These documents establish trial objectives, regulatory approvals, and compliance requirements. Let's go into a little more detail. 1. Investigator brochure and receipt forms, the investigator. Brochure and receipt forms contain detailed information about the investigational product, including its composition, pharmacology, risks, and benefits. Investigators must acknowledge receipt of this brochure to confirm their understanding of the product. 2. Signed protocols and amendments. The protocol outlines the study objectives, methodology, and procedures, while amendments document any modifications to ensure proper tracking and approval. 3. Informed consent form. Another crucial document is the informed consent form, which provides participants with clear information about the study, including risks and benefits, ensuring voluntary participation and ethical compliance. 4. Regulatory approvals and agreements, ethics committee, and competent authority approvals are mandatory before a trial begins. These approvals safeguard participant rights and ensure regulatory compliance. Financial agreements and insurance statements outline participant compensation, investigator payments, insurance coverage, and indemnification, ensuring transparency in trial funding. Agreements between involved parties define roles, responsibilities, and expectations among sponsors, investigators, institutions, and vendors. 5. Laboratory and product documentation. Laboratory documentation, including certificates, accreditation records, and procedures, confirm quality and reliability in lab testing. Sample labels and shipment documentation ensure proper identification, storage, and transportation of the investigational product. Certification of analysis and decoding procedures confirm that shipped products meet quality specifications and maintain blinding integrity in blinded trials. Lastly, pre-trial monitoring reports document site readiness and compliance with GCP standards before trial initiation. By having these documents in place, trial teams establish a strong regulatory foundation, ensuring a smooth study launch. Now, let's move to the essential documents required during the clinical conduct. Once the clinical trial is underway, additional documents are required to ensure ongoing compliance, data accuracy, and participant safety. 1. Investigator brochure updates. Investigator brochure updates must be made to reflect new safety concerns or additional data about the investigational product. 2. Revisions to essential documents. Revisions to essential documents, such as protocols, informed consent forms, agreements, and approvals, may be required to align with new findings or regulatory changes. Ethics committee and competent authority approvals must be obtained again in case of protocol modifications. 3. New investigator and laboratory updates. If new investigators join the trial, their CVs must be documented to verify their qualifications and experience. Laboratory updates should be documented, including any changes in procedures, accreditation, or reference ranges. 4. Ongoing monitoring and reporting. Ongoing product analysis and shipment documentation tracks quality control, shipments, and inventory of the investigational product. Monitoring visit reports documents site visits, findings, deviations, and corrective actions to ensure protocol compliance. Any significant protocol deviations, safety updates, or procedural changes should be recorded under communications influencing study conduct. 5. Confidentiality and safety documentation. Informed consent forms and source data should be stored only at the investigator's site to protect confidentiality. Case report, forms and safety reports capture participant data and safety-related issues such as adverse events or unexpected reactions. Annual reports to regulatory authorities provide updates on trial progress, safety, and key findings. Subject and product accountability. Logs document participant enrollment, withdrawals, and product tracking. Maintaining these documents ensures regulatory compliance, trial transparency, and robust data collection. Finally, let's talk about the essential documents required after the completion or termination of the trial. When the trial is complete, proper documentation ensures data integrity, transparency, and regulatory compliance. 1. Final product documentation and disposal. The Final Product Accountability Log provides a record of investigational product distribution and final disposition. Documentation of product destruction confirms that unused investigational products were properly disposed of. 2. Tracking and audits. The subject ID code list for follow-up helps maintain participant tracking while ensuring confidentiality. If the trial was audited, audit certificates verifying compliance and findings must be included. Closeout visit, monitoring reports, document final site visits, compliance checks, and outstanding issues. 3. Regulatory and study reports. Treatment allocation and decoding documentation ensure that proper blinding procedures were followed in randomized trials. Final reports to regulatory authorities provide a comprehensive summary of the trial's methodology, results, and key findings. Finally, the clinical study report presents trial data, analyses, and conclusions in a standardized format. Finalizing these documents ensures that the trial meets all regulatory requirements and scientific standards, contributing valuable insights to medical research. So, what are the key takeaways from today's discussion? Before the trial begins, regulatory approvals, contracts, and trial protocols must be in place. During the trial, it is important to maintain records of ongoing monitoring, investigator updates, and safety documentation. After the trial, finalizing accountability logs, reports, and ensuring proper data archiving is essential. Remember, as they say in clinical research, if it's not in the TMF, it didn't happen. Meticulous documentation is the key to successful, compliant, and ethical clinical trials. By following these best practices, research teams can efficiently navigate the complexities of trial documentation and regulatory oversight. Thank you for watching our video, and we hope that you found it informative. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more content on clinical research. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment.